radio show on SEN+.
Very comfy, the all-day socks.
How are your socks going, Ed?
Very nice. I've got my... I'll tell you what, I do have my all-day socks on.
Have they got all day underpants?
Well,
I'm wearing my socks all
I
day.
don't want to talk about Eddie's underpants.
Time
Come
for...
on.
Oh, goodness. Nikki is strange. Sorry?
I am not strange. I'm the least strange person I know, compared to you lot.
You are normal. You are normal you, Nick.
Can I just say a really quick thank you to Samsung in Doncaster. Go bonkers
Go
in
Donkers.
Donkers. Lovely boy there by the name of Sarge.
Has he fixed your phone?
He has. He's replaced it actually. On Thursday. And he tried to offer me a free coffee, but I was a bit miffed. But he was very nice, and he's got me back on Instagram, and all is good. So thank you for my brand new phone.
Can you go back to the free coffee? Why didn't you take it?
Because they were transferring data from my old phone into my new phone, and they were talking to each other on the desk, which is just open in the middle of
She didn't want to spill the coffee on the new...
No, not that. You have to go downstairs to get the coffee. And honestly, some quite sensitive materials in my phone, Pete.
Good decision, Nicola.
Yes.
So I thought I can't have eyes off it. Do you know what I mean? It's too risky.
dear.
You can have
Anyway.
coffee with him maybe another
So
time.
thank you, Samsung. Thank you, Sarge. I said I'd mention you on the radio because you did put up with my madness on the day. So thanks for that. So I wanted to talk
Just
about...
on the day? Sorry?
I wanted to talk about this Bulgarian woman who's had a hubby that was working in the UK, and she missed him dearly. And she decided to make a bit of a naughty video. You know, it's not unheard of. And
Sorry, it's one of those.
so old,
Yes.
Eddie. The young people won't know what that is. But anyway, apparently I used to hum that when I was like 5-year-old and
You
come in and
did
start
not.
taking my clothes off. I don't know what kind of childhood I had, but when my mum told me that as a teenager, I was like, great. So she decided, and she wasn't very tech savvy, as she found out afterwards, because instead of privately sending it to her hubby, she placed it as her story on Facebook.
Oh, dear.
And
What's your name? I'd like to... I just want to check my Facebook.
I know,
Where's
because
Google?
in Bulgaria, it's now known as like the sex text. Apparently, it's quite good. But she's 44 years old, and she had 2,000 friends, colleagues, and family on her Facebook page that watched it.
Oh, dear.
And it's really...
Did a hubby see it, though?
The hubby saw it and did not speak to her for 7 days.
Oh, dear.
And her 20-year-old son said that he won't be able to return home for at least 5 years because the shame and embarrassment has killed him. So it's nice that they've got a 20-year-old son and they're still getting it on.
Well, she's made a lot of new
baby.
friends, though, hasn't she?
Oh, she's made a few new friends.
A lot of new friends there.
And I
One or
also
two.
wanted to talk about this guy in Ohio because, you know, it's Lent and I do know a few people that are giving up things for Lent. They try not to give up the good stuff, don't they? And that's exactly what this guy was thinking.
I'm giving up smoking again.
He didn't want to give up the good stuff. So instead of beer, he gave up food, like all food. And it's a bit of a crazy one, right?
That's not too bad.
He doesn't eat breakfast, so he doesn't have to have beer for breakfast. He waits till the afternoon because he doesn't eat. And he was a big boy. He isn't skinny. He's not skinny or anything. But he didn't do it to lose weight or anything. He did it, for Lent and whatever. And he thought, he went on a beer diet.
All food. He just was going to drink beer.
All food. He still is, right?
Kosher beer?
I don't think
They're
so.
gonna be kosher.
Well, he said it was all like old ales
Yeah.
and stuff. He's going through trying them all. So he's allowed himself 2 to 5 beers a day, right? And in the first week, he lost a stone.
How much is a stone in
14
kilos?
pounds.
14 pounds
So it's 7
divided
kilos.
by 2.2,
It's
so about 6 kilos.
6.3.
So he's not recommending it as a diet, it's a silly thing he's done for Lent, but it's quite interesting, isn't it? Because you wouldn't think you'd lose weight on
Yeah,
beer.
well, he hasn't eaten any food. Of course he's
So,
going to lose
Andrew,
weight.
you're
He's
the
going
health
to put it
expert.
all back on.
So you are what you eat, you're not what you drink. Is that how it goes? I'm so glad that I'm not a cocktail.
What's that straw coming out of your head then?
Don't say
Now, this is really important.
You'd be a pina colada.
We got lots of little ones today, so here's a really good one. This is a landmark court case that just happened in Michigan. Oh, I love this. When I saw the headline, I was like, yeah.
A lot of American stuff today, Nicky.
No, there's
We
some
went
other
to
stuff.
Bulgaria.
I would like to have been sat in the wooden seats in the court for this one. So here's the story, right? So a cop in Michigan pulls over a woman for a minor traffic offence, right? She deserved it. She did it. They didn't say what it was. In
this
America,
clean?
it could be like a crack tail light or something, in America. He writes her a ticket on the side of the road, and it was for a minor offence. She weren't too pleased. So he walks away and then, turns around and looks at her as he's getting in his car. She gives him the finger, good and proper. So he walks back over to her, rips that ticket he's given her out of her hand, and writes her one for a much heavier offence, a nasty offence.
Surely you can't be serious.
I'm serious.
Can he do that?
So that's
Can he
one
do
tip.
that, though?
Well, that's the
He
thing.
can do whatever he wants.
She took him to court,
Yeah.
right? And she took him to court because he changed the ticket because of the finger. Her name's Deborah Cruz. And now she's won a landmark case. The court said her constitutional right of free speech was compromised because she was judged on that middle finger. And that the middle finger, this was
Only in
headline.
America.
This was the headline. The middle finger is now constitutionally protected.
No.
Yes.
That
Are
is
you
a weird
serious?
story. How much did she get?
No, she didn't get anything. She got the heavy ticket removed because
Yeah.
she only got the heavy one because she gave him the finger.
Yeah.
That's baloney.
No, it's
So-
not, Judy. It's
But
happened.
seriously, free
That's,
speech
that's
is
a good
still a lot.
story.
It is a good story,
like
right?
Great story.
It would have
I
been
like
better
it.
if she'd won $10 million or something.
Yeah, got
And I've got two
compensation.
more. This is a really quick one. There was a guy in an Australian city called Nimbin, and apparently Nimbin is called Naughty Nimbin, and it's the marijuana. No, shush! It's the marijuana capital of Australia. I didn't know that.
Hot city.
Nimbin.
It
Yes.
says it's 110k south of Brisbane if you want to go there. Anyway, so this guy walks out of his house just randomly, right? He's got his phone in his hand, thank God. A guy walks up to him in the street in Nimbin
Nimbin.
with an archery thing, with a bow and arrow.
Bow and arrow.
And lifts it to this guy's face, right?
Oh,
So in the moment, because we do that now, you
you
know.
would
it's-
panic.
So what he did, which is what we all do now, but maybe we'll do this if we're being murdered. I don't know. It's quite weird. Well, of course he was being murdered, right?
Yeah.
He gets his phone, quickly goes to camera to take a picture of the guy that's about to kill him. So it's in his phone. As he lifts the phone, the guy fires the arrow. And it sticks in his phone. The phone smacks on his face, and he goes onto the ground. And if you go online and look at this, the arrow attack in Nimbin, you can see the arrow straight through the phone, and a tiny point of it.
Actually, I've seen that.
Yeah, a tiny point of it hit his chin, so he's got a tiny cut on his chin. If he had not lifted his phone to take that
He'd be
dude's
dead.
picture,
So he's
he'd be
been
dead.
shielded by Apple.
Well, I don't. It didn't say Apple. How dare you? We've had a Samsung morning. How dare you?
So where was this place again?
Nimbin.
I just wanted you to say it
No,
again.
apparently it's
Nimbin.
naughty Nimbin. If you want a nice strong.
Nimbin.
Yeah, you know,
Oh.
and so I thought, you know what you call a potato that smokes weed? A baked potato. Pete, what's the difference between a drunk and a stoner at the stop sign?
Oh no.
The drunk runs it, the stoner waits for it to turn green.
Boom, boom.
Okay, last story, and this is a really sad one, and it makes me very unhappy, and I'm disturbed to bring this news to you. Very strong, very good orgasms can give you a stroke.
But what a way to go.
What a way to go! Exactly. So there's this woman, right? This is weird. She's a
Do I make you Randy?
She is 44, and so was the woman. So was the woman who sent the video to her
Yes, she
husband,
was.
right? So a British woman. We're in England now.
We're back in England.
Forget
okay.
America. I'm
That's right.
I'm multinational, mate. So she
Bulgaria.
She had a rather large orgasm while her partner was giving her oral sex. Good on
Yeah,
her.
baby.
I know, good
Was
on
she
her.
all right?
But then she fell unconscious for 2 to 3 minutes, and when she was literally stiff as a board. He thought she'd had a seizure, and he was like, "Oh God!" So he lifted her up and took her to hospital. Can you imagine what they said to him? What were you doing in the moments before she passed out? That's
Oh, dear.
private. That's none of your business.
Oh dear.
Anyway, when she regained consciousness and told them what she was doing, they did a CT scan and said that the power and strength of her orgasm had given her a minor stroke.
And that was
Wow.
it. And she perished.
So
No, she lived.
She okay?
She lived. She's fine.
So yeah, she's
thank goodness
she's
for that.
like a cat, you know, recovering from a big stroke.
There are so many Mrs. Slocum jokes there.
You know what
right
they say?
there.
You know what they say? 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh no.
There's a good gag in there.
Oh,
Her
Nikki.
sex was so good, even the neighbours had a cigarette
Oh,
afterwards.
Nicola! Oh, time for Pete's beef.
Yes, please.